President Tinubu on working visit to inaugurate projects executed by Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah. Reconstruction of Koko Mahuta Dabai Road in Kebbi State set to commence before end of January 2025.
I am very optimistic and certain that we are responsible enough to be fair in our fact findings. We should be balanced.
The House of Representatives investigates retirement exercise of CBN staff. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Enugu on a one-day working visit. On arrival, the president was received by a delegation led by the state governor, Peter Mbah, and other southeast state governors. He was also greeted with a short ceremony by detachments of the Nigerian Armed Forces at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu. The president is scheduled to inaugurate some projects executed by the state government. There are indications that the projects lined up for inauguration include school buildings, healthcare centres, and urban roads, among others. Vice President Kashim Shettima has tasked subnationals to partner with the federal government in addressing unemployment through skills acquisition programs. The Vice President stated this in Lafia as he presented certificates to more than 1,000 youths trained in various vocations at the State Vocational and Technical Institute, Lafia. Aliu Tijani reports.
1,125 youths from various parts of the country went through months of rigorous training in welding, fabrication, auto mechanic and other technical areas to fill middle-level manpower gap in the country. They are now set to contribute to the economy as each goes home with starter packs.
Now I've gained the knowledge of welding and fabrication. I can be able to impact more knowledge on the individuals.
Now I used to distribute my shoes, Abuja, Enugu, and other places.
Vice President Kashim Shettima presents certificate to them and tasked them to be employers of labor as he commends Nasarawa State government for providing platform for the training. The federal government, he says, is committed to reducing rate of unemployment in the country through various interventions, grants and support to entrepreneurs, urging state government to key in.
I congratulate you for this opportunity to ply the flag of prosperity from this state. You must always bear with the expectations placed upon you, and that is channeling your skills into noble causes to expand the scope of our labor. Any effort at all that is being made to begin to reduce the scourges of poverty, hunger and destitution in Nigeria is commendable.
While in Lafia, the Vice President presents relief materials to flood victims through the federal government 3 billion naira support fund to the state. He also presents tractors and rice seedlings to the 13 local government chairmen in the state under the tractorization scheme as part of support from the state government to encourage each local government go into farming for food sufficiency. Already, the state government is into rice farming in a 100 hectares land with the first harvest successful to ensure food sufficiency.
Empowering the local governments with tractors and other agricultural implements is absolutely essential for us to record any progress in agriculture.
Nasarawa State, in order to agree with the Renewed Hope agenda on agriculture, decided also to go into agriculture for the first time. We were able to cultivate 2,000 hectares of land. Out of the 2,000 hectares of land that we had, we are lucky we have now harvested that 2,000 hectares of land.
Vice President Kashim Shettima performed foundation stone laying for the construction of headquarters of National Investment Development Agency, NACIDA, and pays homage on the Emir of Lafia, Justice Sidi Bagi Mohammed I. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Aliu Tijani also reports that the Nasarawa State Executive Council has been dissolved. Governor Abdullahi Sule announced this while addressing members of the council.
Those affected in the dissolution are all the commissioners and the secretary to the state government. Governor Sule appreciates them for the service rendered to the state and wishes them well in their future endeavors. He directs that the outgone secretary to the state government to hand over to Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs, as all dissolved commissioners are mandated to hand over to Permanent Secretaries in their respective ministries.
We are at this moment, going to let the whole ESCO, down. That way, it will give us a week or two to come back and reconstitute the ESCO. So that is the decision, I think, that we have taken.
Commissioner for Justice Labaran Magaji and that of Humanitarian appreciate Governor Sule for the opportunity given to them to serve the state in various capacities. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The long-awaited reconstruction of the Koko Mahuta Dabai Road in Kebbi State is set to commence before the end of January 2025. Governor of the state, Nasir Idris, disclosed this while meeting with the Zulu and Yoruba communities in Birnin Kebbi at the Government House. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa has more.
The popular Koko Mahuta Dabai Road has been in deplorable condition for ages, especially for its potholes that can turn a 2 to 3 hours journey into a grueling 6 hours ordeal. However, relief is on the horizon as Governor Nasir Idris has secured approval from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to complete the mega project in 2025, demonstrating their commitment to fulfilling campaign promises.
The period of politics has ended. We are now in governance, so now it is look into people's problem and way of solving them.
The news has sent waves of excitement throughout the state, particularly among people of Zuru and the southern region, who have expressed their gratitude through a spokesperson.
River Road. That road has also been awarded and we are very happy for that.
The governor also met with the Yoruba community in Birnin Kebbi.
It's us about our hall and there about 1 month where we mentioned. And then you already promised about that hall now.
Looking ahead in 2025, Governor Idris is optimistic and has envisioned a year of empowerment and human development for the state. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
Another news, the Transmission Company of Nigeria has announced that due to the ongoing road dualization project along the Akpo axis in Abuja, 8 number 132 kV and 33 kV towers will be relocated along the Kukwaba-Akpo line on the Outer Southern Expressway route. The TCN notes that the relocation work will necessitate a planned power outage from Monday 6th January to Monday 20th January 2025 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily, which is the estimated duration for the dismantling and construction of the towers, as well as restringing of the power cables that will enable resumption of bulk power supply to the Akpo transmission substation from Gwagwalada substation. TCN says there will be rationing of electricity supply in Kubwa, Karu, Maraba, Yanya, Masaka, Kefi, Kukwaba and Akpo Mechanic. Also to be affected are parts of Lugbe, Trademore Estate and the Piakasa, Sabon Lugbe, Chika Aleta axis. While the location of the transmission towers is necessary for the completion of the road project, TCN apologizes to customers in the affected areas for the inconvenience the planned power outage will cause and assures that power supply will be restored as soon as the tower's relocation and cable stringing are completed. Central Bank of Nigeria has clarified that its staff early exit program is voluntary. This was at the resumed hearing of the House of Representatives investigation into the reported layoff of more than 1,000 staff of the Apex Bank and an associated 50 billion naira payoff scheme. CBN's Deputy Governor, Corporate Services, Bala Mohammed Bello, explained that no staff has been coerced to leave the bank. His explanation followed inquiries by the House Ad Hoc Committee probing the retirement exercise.
We implore you to avail this committee with necessary informations, facts and figures, but be rest assured, the assembly of these members of this committee, I am very optimistic and certain that we are responsible enough to be fair in our fact findings. We should be balanced and will be fair to all manner of members involved in this exercise.
The exercise that you are mentioning, nobody was actually terminated or dismissed. People were retired with their full benefits for us to have opportunities to reinvigorate and bring in new blood or new perspectives to how things are done. So that was at the instance of the bank. People were actually retired with their full benefits. This one that is taking place or has taken place now is strictly voluntary, so there are two different things altogether. But if you take the two together and you juxtapose it within the context of the overall strategy to streamline the operations of the bank, to refocus the operation of the bank, to reinvigorate the operation of the bank, to re-energize the operation of the bank, you can take the two together as leading to the same objective. Whereas one, people were retired with their full benefits, okay? The other was actually absolutely, voluntary.
This is the News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
NTA say thank you. To all our viewers, we say thank you. A good TV station means different things to different people. What made NTA stand out for you in 2024?
Babu shakka, babu wani gidan talabijin a ƙasar nan da ke nuna al'adu kamar yadda gidan talabijin na ƙasa wato NTA ke nunawa.
Kò sí ibikíbi tí ẹ wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí ẹ ò ti lè wo iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìjọba àpapọ̀ NTA kétékété kódà tó fi dé abúlé wa.
Standard NTA Bataruru Oko Ọ̀pá Ọ̀kàdìgún ọ̀kọ̀kọ̀ náà NTA Kalisi Akale.
Trends, information, outstanding performance. NTA got the steves.
For decades, we've towered high with sponsors as partners and viewers as pillars. And as we bid 2024 farewell, we welcome you to a superlative 2025. Because at NTA, you can't beat the reach.
Oh, NTA say thank you.
Welcome back. The Nigeria Police Force has dismissed a claim circulating on social media that a Deputy Commissioner of Police in Kaduna State was arrested for supplying firearms to bandits and kidnappers. Police spokesperson ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi says the individual in the circulated image is not a serving officer and that the image has been in internet archives since 2019. Adejobi says the individual in question is Kingsley Udoyin, a civilian who was detained by the Akwa Ibom State Police Command on January 2nd, 2019 for posing as an Assistant Commissioner of Police. He disclosed that Udoyin, at the time of his arrest, had been using fake police credentials to defraud and intimidate the public. He added that items recovered from Udoyin's residence included an unlicensed English pistol, portraits of various police ranks, and other incriminating materials. The Kebbi State government says it will continue to support President Bola Tinubu's administration in combating banditry and kidnapping in the state. Governor Nasir Idris stated this while addressing journalists after a closed-door meeting with heads of security agencies in the state. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa has details.
No doubt Kebbi State had a fair share of banditry, kidnapping and cattle rustling in 2024. The good news was that the joint efforts of security agencies in the state led to the successes recorded in the sector. Governor Nasir Idris, who chaired a 2-hour closed-door security meeting with heads of security agencies in the state, believed that a review of the 2024 security report and strategic planning will improve the existing security apparatus in the state.
Because we share border with some states, like Niger State, Zamfara State and Sokoto State. That is why we have infiltration of banditry in about 2-3 local governments.
Governor Idris praised the joint security personnel's effort, pinpointing their successes achievement.
I have promised them, by God's grace, 2025 will be better than 2024, by God's grace.
The governor announced plans to distribute additional operational vehicles to the security outfits. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
As 2025 begins, the celebrations to usher in the new year in Kano brought together diverse cultural communities to glorify God and showcase unity through traditional games and performances. Awal Salisu reports that the event featured exciting activities, creating an atmosphere of joy and friendly competition.
These captivating performances highlighted the beauty of their heritage and emphasized the strength of unity in diversity, all in thanksgiving to God for a new year.
And we are happy what they are doing, and it's good to make them together, to put them together, then they will respect each other.
For sure, it has been holding for quite a number of years now. It's almost it's an annual event, and we are quite delighted.
In them, that is unity.
We normally organize this event every 1st January.
The blend of music, dance, and games made the occasion a memorable one, fostering connections across cultures while celebrating God's goodness. This colorful display of unity, faith, and heritage as the people of Kano step into a new year with joy and purpose.
You're still onto the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Here is a recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu on working visit to inaugurate projects executed by Enugu State Governor Peter Mba. Reconstruction of Koko Mahuta Dabai Road in Kebbi State set to commence before end of January.
I am very optimistic and certain that we are responsible enough to be fair in our fact findings. We should be balanced.
The House of Representatives investigates retirement exercise of CBN staff.
This is NTA News 24.
Secretary to the Ondo State Government, Tayo Oluwatui, has died following a car accident while travelling to Ibadan. In a statement signed by the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Wale Akinlosotu, late Oluwatui was a dedicated public servant whose unwavering commitment to administrative coordination, policy advisory and implementation had significant impact on Ondo State. Having served government in various capacities, including as chairman of Akure South Local Government, commissioner and twice as SSG, late Oluwatui will forever be remembered for his invaluable contributions to the development of the state. The state government commiserates with the family and prayed God to grant them the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. Meanwhile, the death has occurred of Professor Nuhu Yakub, former Vice-Chancellor, University of Abuja, and former Chancellor, Sokoto State University. In a statement, Professor Nuhu died early hours of today after a brief illness. He is survived by a wife, 3 children, and grandchildren. He was aged 73 and was one of the regular analysts on NTA's current affairs programs, notably Good Morning Nigeria, Tuesday Live, and Election Analysis. Well, that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis.